They liked each other a lot before getting married, with a special and high-up love. They first met at the beach. He found this young girl nice when she walked by with her light-colored umbrella and her pretty dress against the ocean and sky. He loved her, who was blonde and slim, in this place with the blue sea and wide sky. He couldn't tell the kindness this growing woman made him feel from the unclear but strong feelings the fresh sea air and the big view of waves and sunshine stirred in his heart. She, however, loved him because he liked her, because he was young, rich, nice, and paid attention to her. She loved him because it's natural for young girls to love guys who say sweet things to them. So, for 3 months, they lived next to each other, holding hands. The hello they said in the morning before going to the beach, in the cool morning, or in the evening on the sand, under the stars, in the warmth of a quiet night, softly whispered, already felt like magic. They dreamed of each other at night, thought of each other when waking up, and, without saying their feelings out loud yet, each wanted the other, both body and soul. After they got married, their love became more regular. At first, it was a strong and touching passion, then it turned into a deep fondness made of clear poetry, gentler touches, and new and silly ideas. Every look and move showed their strong feelings. But, slowly, without even realizing it, they started to get bored with each other. Love was still there, but they had nothing new to discover about each other, no more lessons to learn, no fresh sweet stories, no surprising bursts of emotion, no new way of saying the same old, often repeated words. They tried, though, to bring back the fading excitement of their first love. Every day, they attempted some new idea or desperate effort to revive the warm passion of their early days of marriage. They tried walks under the trees in the moonlight, in the nice warmth of summer evenings, the beauty of misty beaches, the fun of public celebrations. One morning, Henriette, the wife, said to Paul, "Will you take me to a cafe for dinner?" "Sure, dear." "To a famous cafe?" "Of course." He looked at her, wondering, sensing that she had something on her mind that she didn't want to say. She continued, "You know, one of those cafes, oh, how can I explain, a fun cafe?" He smiled, saying, "Sure, I get it, you mean in one of the cafes that people often call bohemian." "Yes, that's it. But take me to a big place, one where you're known, one where you've already had dinner, no supper, well, you know, I will never dare say it." "Go ahead, dear. We shouldn't keep secrets from each other." "No, I'm too shy." "Go on, don't be shy. Tell me." "Well, I want to be thought of as your special someone there. And I want the guys, who don't know that you're married, to think of me that way, and you too, I want you to believe that I'm your special someone for 1 hour, in that place that must have so many memories for you. There. And I will pretend that I'm your special someone. It's silly, I know, I'm terribly embarrassed, I'm as red as a flower. Don't look at me." He laughed, really entertained, and said, "All right, tonight we'll go to a very fancy place where I'm well known." Around 7 o'clock, they went up the stairs of one of the big cafes on the boulevard. He was smiling like a winner, she was shy, veiled, happy. They were quickly led to a fancy private dining room, with 4 big chairs and a red soft couch. The head waiter came in and gave them the menu. Paul handed it to his wife. "What do you want to eat?" "I don't mind, order whatever is good." After giving his coat to the waiter, he ordered dinner and champagne. The waiter looked at the young woman and smiled. He took the order and whispered, "Does Sir Paul want his champagne sweet or dry?" "Dry, very dry." Henriette was happy to know that this man recognized her husband's name. They sat on the soft couch, next to each other, and started eating. 10 candles lit up the room and reflected in mirrors all around them, making everything look even brighter. Henriette drank glass after glass to keep her courage up, even though she felt a bit dizzy after the first few sips. Paul, excited by the memories coming back to him, kept kissing his wife's hands. His eyes were shining. In this new place, she felt strangely excited, restless, happy, a little guilty, but full of life. 2 waiters, serious and quiet, used to seeing and forgetting everything, only entered the room when needed and left when they felt they might be intruding. Midway through dinner, Henriette was quite influenced by the champagne. She chattered away fearlessly, her cheeks red, her eyes sparkling. "Come on, Paul, tell me everything." "What, sweetheart?" "I'm too scared to say." "Go on." "Have you loved many women before me?" He hesitated, a bit unsure, not sure if he should keep his adventures a secret or boast about them. She continued, "Oh, please tell me. How many have you loved?" "A few." "How many?" "I don't know." "How would I know such things?" "Haven't you counted them?" "Of course not." "Then you must have loved a good many." "Perhaps." "About how many?" "Just tell me about how many." "But I don't know, dearest. Some years a good many, and some years only a few." "How many a year, did you say?" "Sometimes 20 or 30, sometimes only 4 or 5. "Oh. That makes more than 100 in all." "Yes, just about." "Oh. I think that is dreadful." "Why dreadful?" "Because it's dreadful when you think of it, all those women, and always the same thing." "Oh. It's dreadful, just the same, more than 100 women." He was surprised that she found it dreadful and replied, acting like he knew better, which men sometimes do when they want to show women that they've said something silly. "That's funny. If it's dreadful to have 100 women, it's dreadful to have one." "Oh, no, not at all." "Why not?" "Because with one woman, you have a real love connection that ties you to her, while with 100 women, it's not the same. There's no real love. I don't get how a man can be with such women. But they're okay." "No, they can't be." "Yes, they are." "Oh, stop, you gross me out." "But then, why did you ask me how many sweethearts I had?" "Because." "That's not a reason." "What were they, actresses, little shop girls, or society women?" "A few of each." It must have been kind of boring towards the end. Oh, no, it's fun to change. She stayed quiet, looking at her champagne glass. It was full. She drank it in one gulp, then, putting it back on the table, she hugged her husband and whispered in his ear, "Oh, how I love you, sweetheart. How I love you." He hugged her back passionately. A waiter, just coming in, backed out, closing the door quietly. In about 5 minutes, the head waiter returned, serious and proper, bringing the fruit for dessert. She was once again holding a full glass between her fingers, staring into the amber liquid as if looking for unknown things. She murmured in a dreamy voice, "Yes, it must be fun."